Good morning, guys. Thank you for tuning in to our channel today. And before we begin our math lesson, I would like to take a moment and say thank you to your friends and families, those of guardians who are helping throughout this lessons and finishing up your math works and ELA works. Thank you so much. At this point, children, I would like for you to take a moment and say thank you for the little things you have. Appreciate everything that we have around us. Okay, so let's get started. So today our lesson will be Module 4, Lesson 9. And the objective of the lesson is model decomposition of 8 using story situation arrays and number bonds. And the materials we'll be needing for this lessons are loose leaf papers, pens, pencils, crayons, anything to write with. You will need your math book if you picked up from school. If not, it's okay. You'll need your number bond chart, toys, bottle caps, pennies, crayons, anything you can find around the house. Just make sure you have 8 pieces of it. So please pause the video and gather up your materials for the lesson. Before we get started with our lesson, we will be looking at a new vocabulary word. It's called array. So the proper definition of an array is called an arrangement of objects, pictures, or numbers in a rows or columns. So anything that you put in one line, it's pretty much called an array. So this is like the example. So you'll see some stars in a line. This is called a row. Okay, this is a row of stars, but it's also called an array because it's in one line. So stars can be arranged in different formats. For example, like I have stated earlier, this is called row. This is a row of pictures. Now what I'm going to show you is column of pictures. These stars are in one line, but this is also called a column of picture, and it's also an array of picture. So this is our application problem. At this time, please pause the video and put all of your materials to the side because we are doing this together. You do not have to write anything, just follow along with me. I will be drawing 5 stars in a row, and we'll do this exercise in a different ways. So this is my 5 stars in a row, and we know at this time I would like for you to use your hands. Take your hands out and count 5 pictures. Count 5 fingers in one hand. So we know 5 and one more from your other hand. 5 and one more is what, guys? 6. Excellent. So we have 6 and one more is 6 and one more is what, guys? 7. Very good. 7 and one more, which means you will have 5 fingers in one hand and 3 fingers on the other hand. So 5, and then you started off with 7 and you added one more finger, so you have 7 and one more, right? What it looks like in real life is 5 and 3 fingers. So you'll have 7 because that's what you started off with. So 7 and one more is 8. Now we're going to change the positions of the stars and try again. So we have 5. We already know this is 5 stars. So you can take one hand out, and you already know this is 5. We do not have to count from 1 again. We'll just count on from 5. So 5 and one more is what, guys? Come on, say it out loud so I can hear you. Excellent. 5 and one more is 6. Now you have 6 fingers. Now take one more finger out. 6 and one more is what, guys? 7. Very good. One more time. 7. Now you have 7 fingers up. 7 and one more is what, guys? 8. One more time. 7 and 1 is 8. So this on the top is rows of stars, okay? And in the bottom, it's called a column of stars because they are going up and down. One of the easiest way to show rows is if you have your hand, I want you to put it in a side way like this. Okay, we're gonna pretend this is our hand, and this is what a row looks like in our hand. And one of the we'll pretend this is my hand or your hand, and this is what a column looks like. So you have to put your, remember, columns always go up and down and rows go side to side. So this is our warm-up again. At this time you still are not picking up your materials because I want you to follow along with me. Okay, draw 8 crackers, and you have 2 friends, right? I'm going to pretend this is Nicholas, and I'm going to pretend that this is Arian. Okay, so we know this is Nicholas. I'll just label my picture to make sure I remember who they are. Nicholas, Nicholas, and this is Arian. Okay. Okay, so let's pretend this is Nicholas and this is Arian. I have 8 cookies and I would love to share between them. Okay, and we can decide together how many cookies does each student get. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So I have 8 cookies and I have to share between Nicholas and Ariane. I would love to give, oh, this line will divide and show how many I'm giving each student. So I decided to give 1, 2, 3 to Nicholas and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crackers to Arian. Okay, so let's see. I know this is my hole because the 2 arms are sticking out of a hole as stated in previous videos. Okay, so I need to make sure that the 2 parts they equal to the whole 8. So this means that I have 3 over here, which is the same number of cookies that I gave to Nicholas. That's 3. Now I have 5, and I gave it to 5 cookies to Arian to show that Arian gets 5 cookies. So now at this point, I want you to take out your hands, and we're going to do it with our hand. I'm going to draw my hand here just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about, okay? Okay, I'm gonna change the color to show that these are the cookies. So I have 1, 2, 3 cookies for Nicholas, and Arian is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to count the line to show if 3 and 5 really make 8 or not. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 as a whole gets cut into 2 parts. I have 3 cookies and 5 cookies. So we definitely know that 3 and 5 makes 8. Okay, so let's see what is next. So now this is your turn. At this time, I want you to pick up your number bond chart, right? And we're going to do this. So now I decided I do not want to give Nicholas and Ariane 3 and 5 cookies. I want to do it in a different way, right? I began with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cookies, right? Now I decided I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to give 3 cookies and 5 cookies. I want to do a different way. So how can I do that? I divided up my cookies with the line, right? You do not have to copy the picture. I just need you to take out your number bond chart, which is this, and let's do this together. So we know we have 8 cookies in all, which means that 8 is the whole. And since I decided that Nicholas will get 6 cookies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 as one part. And then I decided Ariane this time will get only 2 cookies. So I did 6 and 2, right? So I just want to make sure you guys have at this time put your materials down, and I want you to take out your hands, right? And we are going to see if 6 and 2 actually makes 8. So I will pretend to do my arms here, my hands here actually. Okay, let me change the color of my pen. Okay, here we go. So I know 6 is one part, so I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And then I have to do 2 more. So now since we went to the other hand, I'm gonna change the color of the 2 parts, 1 and 2. So now I want you to take out 6 fingers first with one hand and then add 2 more. Now we already know that one hand has 5 fingers, right? So we don't have to count 1, 2, 3 again. We know it's 5 and we're just going to count on. So we have 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know the 6 and 2 definitely makes 8. Okay, so let's see. And this is our number sentence. We have introduced it to the last lesson, so I want you to repeat after me. Okay, repeat after me, please. 8 equals 6 plus 2. One more time. 8 equals 6 plus 2. Louder this time. 8 equals 6 plus 2. Another way to say this number sentence is 8 is the same as 6 and 2. One more time. 8 is the same as 6 and 2. For the next activity, I need you to erase your number bond. If you did it on dry erase board at this time, please erase the 8 and the 6 and the 2. We need a clean sheet. If you're working with loose leaf paper, at this time, please draw another number bond. Now, this is an activity for you. Talk to your partner and come up with another way to make 8 in your number bond chart. So, if you have whoever is around you, it could be a family, a friend, a guardian, a babysitter. If you do not have anyone in front of you, talk to me. Okay, I'm listening. So you are going to come up with a different ways to make 8. You will not be using a 5 and a 3 like the way we used in the other number bond. You will also not be using 6 and 2 because those are the ones 5 and 3, 6 and 2, we already used it. I want you to come up with a different number bond with your partner. And if you do not have a partner at the moment, I'm here. I want you to talk to me. Okay? So let's get started. So you have 8 as a whole. What other ways? Use your hands to help you to come up with one different way to make 8. I see what you're doing. I love it. Now show me. You got halfway done. Excellent work. Now I see that you have 2 parts and they came together to make 8. Good job, guys. Give yourself a pat. Let's move on. Parents, guardian, this is important. So please listen to me very carefully. This is the problem set. This is the page where you will be submitting to your respective teacher, whether it's Miss Maynard, whether it's Miss G, whether it's Miss Shaima. So please make sure at the top of your math book in Module 4, Lesson 9, you look for this. It should say Lesson 9 Problem Set. That is the only page you are submitting via text message. You are not submitting the homework page. You are not submitting the application problem or the warm-up. Just remember, you are just submitting Lesson 9 problem set. We are going to do one together. If you do not have this book, if you do not have the math book, I have a different slide for the students who have not picked up the math book, and the alternative work, you're supposed to do it either in a loose leaf or a notebook or the number bond chart, and just take a picture of that and send it to your respective teachers. Let's get started. The first thing first, we write your name. It is very important because we have to keep in track of who's submitting work and the date. So I'm going to label my picture with the name and the date. And today is 3-25-2020. Okay, let's get started. So I can see I have 2 dice. The instruction says fill in the number bonds to match the picture. Let's count. We have an 8 as a whole right here. Let's see if the whole matches the picture. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we know the number of dot matches the whole. Now we have 2 parts, the 2 missing parts. You will get to do them. We have a shaded gray circle. So let's count how many shaded gray circles we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know I have 4 shaded. I also have some blank circles. So let's count how many blank circles are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know 4 and 4 comes together to make 8. Just to make sure we are checking our work, I'm going to use my hand. Right? So I know I have total of 8. I have 4 in one hand. So let's change the color of my pen. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I also have 4 on this hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So let's check our work. Let's count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we checked our work to show 4 and 4 definitely makes 8. The reason why I always show you the hands is because of the fact that I want you guys to check your work. And you do not need materials to check your work. You have the greatest tool, which are your hands and fingers, that can allow you to check it by yourself, even when you do not have any family member or a teacher around. Okay, so the next one, it says draw some more dots to make 8 dots in all and finish the number bond. In this one, they already gave you the whole, and they give you one part right here. So you know where that one has to go. This box is blank. You have to figure out 1 and what other numbers come together to make 8. For the last one, instruction says draw 8 dots. Some are blue, rest are red, and fill in the number bond. So we know we have to draw total of 8 dots in these 2 boxes. Some of them has to be blue, some of them has to be red. If you do not have red and blue crayons, it's okay. You can use different colors. And if you do not have crayons, look at the picture in the top. They just shaded, they made some gray and they left the rest of them blank. So you can use your pencils to make it, or markers, whichever is comfortable for you. Let's move on. This is the problem set alternative. So this is only, I repeat, this is only for students who does not have the book. So you are only doing one problem set. If you have the book, you're working with the previous slide, which is this. If you do not have the book, this is the page you're doing, and you're copying it on your notebook or your loose leaf paper and sending the picture to your respective teachers, whether it's Miss G, Miss Maynard, or Miss Shaima. You can send it to either one of those teachers mentioned earlier, and we will get the work. So let's do an example of this one. Again, the instruction says look at the dots and complete the number bond. So let's count to make sure we have 8 dots. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. So we have 8 as whole. Now we have to decide what are the 2 parts. So the way they made it simple, we have some shaded gray and some shaded blank. So let's count how many are there that is gray. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know one of the part has to be 4. Now we have the other part that we have to do. We have some that are blank. So we have 4 that's shaded. So one part of 8 is 4. The other part has to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know 4 and 4 comes together to make 8. If you have to check your work, again, put your materials down and take your hands out. And we're going to count. So I know 4 is one part. And for the other part is also 4. Now we just have to make sure we count all the lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. So we know 4 and 4 definitely makes 8. At this time, please complete the work for 1, 2, 3 of the problem set. You just have to look at the picture and make sure your number bond matches the pictures. Let's move on to the next slide. This is the problem set checklist. So parents and guardians, please, before you submit your work, please make sure you're sending the correct work and correct work to your respective teachers. Number 1, make sure there's name and date present, because we need to keep in track of which date is which work is being submitted. And number 2, show and submit via picture message of work in math book if you have the book. If you do not have the book, you have the alternative problem set, which you have to submit to your respective teacher. Remember, once again, only the problem set and the problem set alternative are the only things you're sending. Parents, please do not forget to log into iReady and do 30 minutes of iReady with ELA and 30 minutes of math in iReady. If you're still struggling, please feel free to reach out. And if you do not get an access to iReady, that's okay. That's why we have those YouTube videos up to make sure you are accessing your child's lessons for the day and submitting the work. Last but not least, we have shout outs. Parents, when your children are doing the works, please do not forget to take pictures, not only of the work, but what actually they're doing. So I can give them shout outs every day. So in our school, we call the lower grades young geniuses. So I'm going to scream young geniuses, and your children will say, "Ow!" So let's try it. Young geniuses. Can't hear you. One more time, loud and proud. Young geniuses. Excellent. So this week I have two young geniuses who are getting shout outs, which the two of my beautiful kindergartners, Angel and Ileana. As you can see, Angel loves doing iReady, and Ileana is working very well with the YouTube lessons. So let's give them a hand. And thank you for joining. Please look at the description box for other announcements or just a clarification of what we need to do. And don't forget to check out other channels like Baba O, Miss Nzinga, and Mr. Roger. They will be uploading also. So show them some love and say Miss Shaima has sent them to you. Right? Have a good day. Bye bye. We miss you.